We now wish to resume, and could the witness take the witness stand once more? As the witness comes, members, we are going to proceed in the manner that we have agreed. I'll keep on seeing, you'll keep on catching my eye in the usual manner. Honorable Kyogora.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
In your witness, in your evidence, you have spoken to appointments.
Yes.
You have mentioned that the first gentleman was appointed to non-existent position. Is that true?
Yes.
I would like you to confirm if you are aware that official government positions are usually signaled by a letter of appointment. Is that true?
No.
When you get official appointment, do you receive a letter of appointment?
Yes.
In your evidence, do you have any piece of evidence you have forgotten in form of an official appointment of the first gentleman?
No, there's no letter.
You have none. If the official, not the official, the first gentleman was not drawing a salary, what detriment would it visit the county government of Meru?
Yeah, the fact that when you appoint someone to an office where there is established an organ that is supposed to be taking care of that particular area, for example, the Meru Youth Service Act has created a body that is supposed to be overseeing whatever is happening with the Meru Youth Service. You bring in someone, they come with the influence, especially this person being the spouse of the governor, and the influence is seen because is first of all seen when it comes to the Goji land tussle. He was the first person to arrive there as a patron, then complain about it, brought the matter to the governor, and then after maybe 2-3 days, came back there with the governor in his capacity as a patron to now raise all these other issues that also emanated from the vilification campaign against the church. So it's not a matter of just drawing the salary that constitutes the illegal nature of that appointment. The very first thing that, even without that letter, Mr. Chairman, the fact that the governor stood and appointed him and saying that he will be reporting to him means that he has been handed a mandate of a body that has been created by the law, that is the County Government Act, the Meru Youth Service Act of 2018, about how that body should be functioning independently with the various office holders that law created. So that undue influence, considering that this body also has a big budget in the zone of 100 million shillings every year, means that as a patron you can direct procurement, you can direct so many things without any accountability whatsoever.
You've made your point. The following questions, just say yes or no.
Thank you.
You are not the secretary of the County Public Service Board.
I'm not.
You are not the county secretary.
I'm not.
You are not the senator of Meru.
I'm not.
You are not the minister for agriculture.
I'm not.
And you are not Honorable Mpuri Apuri.
Yes, I'm not.
I put it to you that all your evidence appertaining to all these officers and individuals is nothing but hearsay.
It's not hearsay, Mr. Chairman, because of their nature. On the verification campaign that the governor held, it should not be held that they should be the complainants, or that I should be holding brief for them and that I should be given affidavits or official complaints from them. The Constitution has mandated me to see wrongs being committed by the governor of Meru County that are likely to breach peace. She
So,
is
so that I help, you have had time to say those things.
yes,
We're just seeking cleaning the rough edges.
yes,
What you have told us is hearsay. You've confirmed that the Senator of Meru has not asked you. The Minister of Agriculture has not asked you. You are not the spokesperson of the county, therefore the county secretary. You are not the secretary of the service board. You've just given yourself a responsibility without hearing it as instructions, and therefore it is hearsay. You are familiar with Article 207 of the Constitution?
yes,
Yes, we can remind you. It's about how you handle revenue in the account. You have told us that the governor directed that the money should be spent at source
yes,
in the hospital.
yes,
But I've listened to the video. I've heard the translation. The governor actually gives a percentage through her own mouth that should be at the hospital. She does not in any way, Mr. Kiogora, Honorable, direct that banking into the county revenue fund should be stopped.
that's incorrect, my Honorable Chair.
Can I, sir?
Okay.
Yes. Can you tell us the piece of evidence which should convince me that when the senator said, the governor said that 30% should remain at the hospital, that she didn't mean that once money goes to the county revenue fund, 30% is appropriated back into the hospital? Can you convince me?
That's illegal in the first place. What you are alleging, that she said that a certain percentage, not even a coin, a dime, is supposed to be left. They are supposed to bank everything for accountability purposes. Because when you tell them retain 80% and bank 20%.
Answer my question.
Yes.
What you're saying is a constitution.
Yes.
But I want you to convince me that in her speech, she didn't mean that if 100 million shillings has gone to the county revenue fund, she didn't mean that when now appropriation is being done, they should ensure that 100 million, 30 million of it should come back. I want you to convince me in the
That's not what she said. She said,
yes,
you retain this percentage, 80% of the money, then you remit 20% to the county revenue fund. That alone should not be done. That alone should not happen anywhere. They are supposed to deposit 100% of the money that they collect to the county revenue fund, like they have been doing. So if she suggests that a certain percentage, just 20% should be brought, then they retain the rest of the money so that they can buy drugs, they can do things that they're supposed to do there at the hospital, is again giving them the wrong directions, because all revenue.
Thank you.
All revenue.
You have answered your question. My final one is, are you aware that the governor is a bishop?
Yes, I'm aware.
Is it, or let me put it this way, is a bishop out of order if, or would it be surprising if a bishop, either in speech or in prayer, was heard to be casting out demons?
I have not seen the governor casting out demons in the prayer, but if she was praying in the church, not in a public rally, or if she was conducting a crusade, encouraging people who should be casted demons out, because normally how they do it, they call people, come forward, I cast demons out of you. I have not seen that anywhere where she called people who have demons so that she can cast them out. Or where were these demons?
Thank you. I now invite Senator Edwin Sifuna to make use of your time. Sorry, members, I've spent 4 minutes, but that's it.
I thank you, Chair. I thank.
With your kind permission, Honorable Chair. My name is Morero, appearing together with Dr. Modomi. And with your very kind permission, Honorable Chair, there is one very simple issue that I want to address. And it pertains to the issue of hearsay evidence. And it relates to the conclusion that you've drawn that whatever the witness is evidence as regards the MP, Mpuru Waburi, the Senator, and the CS Agriculture is hearsay. With all due respect, Honorable Chair, my understanding of hearsay is that hearsay is indirect evidence, and the evidence presented by Honorable DMK would be hearsay evidence if it relates to assertions that are made by another person other than him who is testifying. All this evidence relates to the assertions that are made by the governor. It is not evidence relating to assertions that are made by the MP, by the Senator, or by the CS Agriculture. If he was testifying to assertions that are made by the MP, the CS Agriculture, or the Senator, then that would be hearsay. But in this case, he is testifying to statements that have been played on video, statements made by the governor. So it is for the governor to disprove. So to that extent, Honorable Chair, with due respect, our opinion is that it is not hearsay evidence.
Thank you. Hansard has recorded you. Hansard has followed these proceedings. It is up to Hansard to make a conclusion.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Senator Sifuna.
Thank you, Chair. First, I want to start by reading to the witness the definition of a public office under Article 250. Chair, 260. Chair, the definition, public office means an office in the national government, a county government, or the public service, if the remuneration and benefits of the office are payable directly from the consolidated fund or directly out of money provided by Parliament. Having read that to you, Mheshimiwa DMK, is it still the position of the Meru County Assembly that the position of Ambassador of Meru Hustlers is an office in the public service? With that definition in mind, is it still your position that the office of Ambassador of Meru Hustlers or Patron of Meru Youth Service, drawing no salary from the consolidated fund, is still an office in the public service? Yes or no?
It's still my position that it's...
You do understand that the Constitution is the supreme law. What the Constitution says is the law is the law. Is it still your position, even with that knowledge now of what the definition of public office is, that this position of Ambassador for Meru Hustlers is a position in the public service?
No.
Thank you. Now, you had told us, or you played a video of this first gentleman speaking at some rally on the question of messages or SMSs from Honorable Mpuru Waburi, the allegation of 10 million. Why is a speech by this first gentleman forming the basis of allegations against the county governor? What is the nexus between the things that a spouse says and their spouse? How does it attach to the governor?
So probably the video was not played in full, or when I was making that particular translation of the video, the governor came because she was in that meeting and continued and picked up from where he had left about the same allegation that the husband made.
But can we at least agree that spouses can have their own views, points of view, and ability to comment, freedom of speech, to speak about matters within their knowledge and purview?
But when the speech makes things that are touching on the governor...
Just say yes or no.
No.
Is it possible you and your wife can both speak on an issue and not be, you be dragged through a recall process in the assembly?
Depends on the nature of that speech my wife would have made, and as to whether I was there or I confirmed it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Now, you also... Yes.
You are making a very important point. Honorable Kawira,
Yes, Chairman.
God forbid, if your wife stole, would you be charged with the offense of stealing as the spouse?
Of course not.
So what Edwin is asking you, or Senator Sifuna is asking you, is how does the offense of the first gentleman constitute a charge against the governor?
If you listen keenly to what the transcript, what the spouse said is, Mpuru Aburi has been sending messages to the governor, who is my wife. So we believe him because they live together, that he should be paid 10 million shillings. So the governor has not refuted it by saying there are no SMSs or there are SMSs between Mpuru Aburi. She has not even attacked it in her replying affidavit to deny that those SMSs the husband is alluding to are with her. And that the MP for Tigania East has brought pending bills to be paid and 14 companies to be given tenders. Does the spouse of the governor give any tenders? Is he the CEO of the county?
You've made your point. You've made your point. But my brother, in the interest of justice, if all of us were to be held responsible for what our spouses do, prison would be full of innocent people. You see, in this particular case, and the lawyers are in this room, the offense committed by the first gentleman was slander against the various parties, character assassination and slander, right? So how would you charge the wife with character assassination and slander that was committed by the husband?
Yes, Honorable Chairman, that is one video, assuming that we do not charge the governor, like you have alleged, because of the mistakes of the husband. Let's go to the other video, where now the husband is alleging that these people, and inciting the public against two leaders who are popular in Meru, that is the Honorable Senator, and the CS, actually in the home turf of the CS, and alleging that these two people, the spouse speaks in the other video. Let's cast aside this video. There is this other video now. The spouse speaks that these people are demanding a share of the county government so that they can take the governor to the president, so that they can allow her to have access, or I don't know to who, to the powers that be, according to the spouse. And the governor comes and confirms, picks it up from there, and continues in a similar manner. Do we adduce that previous video that Senator Sifuna is talking about, the governor picked up from where the spouse left? But because it's not here, we can address ourselves to this video, whereby the governor has picked up from the husband and continued the same verification campaign. So when your spouse
Chair,
makes allegations, then you pick from there.
He is now testifying, he's not answering questions. And you were very clear, you told him to answer yes or no.
No.
You've given your evidence. I'll protect you, Kawira, because you must win your case. That's why you have come here.
Perhaps, Chair,
Senator Sifuna?
out of that inquiry, I can ask a question. If somebody calls me a thief today and makes an unsubstantiated allegation that I'm a corrupt person or I am a cartel, the normal recourse is for me to sue them for defamation. Have any of the people who you have said are complaining about this vilification filed any cases against the governor and the spouse on the basis of criminal or even civil defamation? Yes or no?
None of them has.
Okay, thank you. Now, there was a question of the so-called vilification of the Catholic Church, and maybe some of the things that you are alleging were lost in translation, because you took us to the transcripts that start at page 108. I am lost. Can you show me with exactitude where the governor says the Catholic Church stole land in Igoji? I am struggling to find it in that translation. Can you point me to the page where that is?
I think
is there a page? Just give me a page. If you don't know where it is, you just say you don't know where it is. Where in the transcript can I see the translation of the governor saying that the Catholic Church stole land?
Counsel, you are free to assist him. Counsel,
it was one.
you're free to assist him if there is such a page.
Chair, I hope you'll pause my time. Thanks.
During evidence, you referred us to page 109.
Yes.
So I don't know whether you are still on that page.
If you look at the last part where it's translated,
Yeah.
because that land does not belong to my son, the land in question now in Negoji, it is not my land or home. I am protecting the wealth of the children and the male and Meru people. And even in our own evidence.
Please, Mheshimiwa, in this document, the
Yes.
one you have filed, this is your own document.
Yes.
There is no place where there's a translation of the governor uttering those words. Maybe it exists somewhere else, but not in these documents. You agree with me?
What is the context that you are speaking
The
in
context
page
might not be
109?
here. That's what I'm saying.
It's
In
there.
these documents, the one that you filed, you can't point me to where the governor is saying those words from her mouth. They are not there. Let's move on. The video on this question of a forceful entry to the assembly, the video that you played actually stops where the governor has reached at the door of the assembly. Do you have video of what happens before she gets into the assembly? Is there video?
There must videos
There is that
of
video.
what was transpiring outside the doors.
No. After she got, you showed us her walking with a team of people
Yes.
until the door, then the video cut there.
Yes.
Is there video of what transpired at that door? So that we can see that forceful entry, because we didn't see it. Do you have the video?
The video can be obtained.
Thank you. Then,
But the forceful entry also comes
just a minute,
right from the gate.
Just a minute, we'll just go together. There's no problem.
Yeah.
You told us that there was a communication the night before that it might not be desirable for her to come, even after she had been formally invited to officially open the assembly. Is there that communication in your bundle of documents? Which page can I find it?
There is no communication
There
there,
was
but
no
it has
communication.
been provided for in the videos.
There is a video of that communication to her.
No, where the MCAs, the previous day, where the MCAs and the speaker were addressing the median and requesting the governor, due to the atmosphere that we have in, it's not appropriate to proceed with the planned
So
address.
there was no formal letter to the governor telling her that, yes, ignore that initial invitation, the atmosphere is not okay. There was no such
I've
letter.
not found out from the speaker whether there was one.
Okay, let's go to the question of the waiver of the bills. You said in your testimony that this is something that has to be done by the CEC of Health. At the point the governor was making that pronouncement, who was the CEC of Health?
There was none in
There
office
was no
at that
CEC
time.
of Health at that particular point.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Under Section 30 of the County Governments Act, whose mandate is it to structure the county government in the manner that she or he feels desirable to,
It's the county executive committee.
Are you sure? Because
Yes.
you can read that section for me.
Yes.
Mr. Mheshimiwa DMK.
It's the County Governments Act,
Mheshimiwa DMK.
and I can read. Yes.
At the national government, the president forms government once he wins the election. In the counties, the governor forms government. Anything else is wishful thinking. Edwin, continue.
My last question, Chair, so that I yield time. There was a notice to the governor to appear for these proceedings that you showed us on your bundle of documents.
Yes.
How was that notice served on the governor? Was that notice served on the governor?
Yes.
How was it served?
I took one copy. The clerk took the other to the governor's secretary.
So you have a copy with an acknowledgement stamp that you can show this committee?
That the governor received the motion.
Yes.
The fact that she went to court the following day because
Just a minute.
they refused to stamp it, the secretary, but the rules of service state that even you can serve electronically or you can leave
Mheshimiwa DMK,
at the door.
I am a lawyer. I know
Yes.
the rules of service. That's why
Yes.
I was asking you, how was it served? So you
Yes.
can tell us it was by WhatsApp, it was by email. Just tell us how was it served.
I took one copy to the governor's office and found the secretary together with the clerk. And the secretary refused to stamp, received, but she took the documents and the flash drives containing the evidence.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. I yield my time.
We shall manage. All of us shall have a bite at this cherry. Tobiko.
Thank you, Chair. I'll move very fast on my questions, Chair. Chair, I want to state again that the EACC letter is asking the governor to respond to allegations. EACC, at least as per the documents provided, is yet to find the governor culpable. There is no evidence here to show us anything to the contrary. It's asking the governor to respond to allegations. Chair, in these purported recruitment public forums, because that's what it has been made to look like, were there any appointment letters that were issued? It's simple, yes or no?
No. None that I'm aware of.
All right. The municipality or the people who are alleged to have been appointed to the municipal, the people who are lined up, and you have confirmed that these are not members of the municipal board, yeah?
Yes.
Therefore, it then amounts to a nullity. If they were not members of the board, you will not have said that the governor interfered with the functions of the municipality.
She did interfere.
How?
By appointing a committee to do the work that they do. You have two bodies now doing the same job, likely to draw more conflicts within the county when there is a body that you could have easily summoned and given them and told them or even have them in that very meeting because they were gazetted.
Is there a gazetteman or something showing that this team that were paraded in a public baraza have been appointed?
It's the governor's
Whereas there is another
declarations.
team in office? Yes or no?
There is no gazettement.
There is no gazetteman.
Yes.
Now, I think just to follow up, same question that Honorable Sifuna has asked. This man, Murega Mbaisho, is he on trial in this Senate today?
He is not.
All right, thank you. On the County Assembly bundle of documents, volume 2, page 57, and if we can just look at it very fast, page 57, powers of board of cities and municipalities, that is Article 21A. It says the municipality exercise executive authority as delegated by the county executive. So it is actually the county executive that delegates power to the municipalities. Yes or no?
That's correct.
So then the county executive is supreme. They can delegate whatever powers they want to the municipality, at least according to this article. Now, you have also confirmed that the governor has not expended any public money. The governor has not passed any budget. The governor has not paid any ghost workers. Would we then say that this is a wild goose chase?
No, we cannot say that, and at no point did I say the governor is... The question that I was asked was whether the governor is operating within a budget, and I said yes. She does have the budget that was passed during the previous government that she has continued to work with, to give tenders, to pay for services and such, and pay salaries. The budget of the previous government is the one that she is using.
Chair, my last question.
Yeah.
In cross-examination, the mover of the motion suggested that the governor should not reorganize the executive. Is this the true position? Because my thinking is that the county governments are like the replica of the national government at a lower level. Today, the President of the Republic of Kenya can reorganize his executive as long as that is a way to give better service to the people. Are you saying that this is not the case at the county level?
It's not because of a law that was passed by this parliament that the governor is supposed to follow. It's called the Public Appointments County Approval Act of 2018.
What does it say?
2017. It says as follows, number 10, rejection of nomination. Where the nomination of a candidate is rejected by a county assembly, the appointing authority shall submit to the county assembly the name of another candidate, and the procedure for approval specified in this act shall apply accordingly. 2, a nominating authority shall not resubmit the name of a candidate whose nomination has been rejected by the county assembly unless the circumstances relied upon on the rejection of the appointment of the candidate did not exist or cease to exist at the time of rejecting the nomination of the candidate. Therefore, that is what she should have done.
So if today I'm the governor of Kajiado and I decide that my cabinet will not be 10 CCs, it will be 6, I will be out of the law?
No, you are right to do that as the governor before bringing the names to the county assembly. Actually, you can even have 5, even though the law has given you the power to have 10, a maximum of 10, for example, you can bring 5 to the assembly. But if the assembly approves 2 names out of the 5 that you brought, it doesn't mean you go and now do what you should have done if it assumed you knew what the assembly will do. And you are circumventing the requirement of this act to submit new names to the assembly. Reorganization should have been done when you're bringing the first list in the first place.
Okay, I just wanted yes or no. Chair, my take is that the information should be verifiable data. There is a clip, and I think Senator Sifuna has spoken to it, a clip of Murega Mbaicho speaking and saying his own things. I don't think that can be held against the governor. There's in another clip, I don't know whether it's the same clip, that the governor says she has full bread, not mkate nusu. When she says full bread or mkate nusu, you know, we cannot start concocting what she meant, because she could as well have meant bread in her house, bread in the kitchen, that she's not ready to share with any other person out there. Yes or no?
Honorable Senator, I don't think they were discussing breakfast in that forum.
But we cannot start adducing things that may not have been meant by the governor. Thank you.
Honorable colleagues, our 2 senators have done 14 minutes. So I want us to stick to clarifications. Maruma.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I will ask questions out of the 5 counts on 2 counts. Count number 1 on nepotism and illegal appointments. You have alleged that the governor made appointments without following due procedure, that is appointing through County Public Service Board. The questions that have been asked by my colleagues, you've answered them, so I'll not ask them. That is, have you cited appointment letters? Contracts, have they signed contract letters? You said no. Have they earned? You've said no, or you're not aware if they have earned or not. But my question at that point would be, why do you think the mitigation of the attempt by the governor to break the law or to violate the law, the mitigation should be by way of removal of the governor by way of impeachment? Convince me as the member of the jury that that is the best way.
Thank you very much, Honorable Senator. The Constitution has put forth a mechanism of stopping lawlessness, and I think the Supreme Court in the Sonko case pronounced itself as to what is impeachable and what is not. And it's up to the County Assembly and the Senate to see what is impeachable and not. The courts are tied to the process, whether the due process was followed and the fair administration of justice was done. If you look at the, sorry, I have seen your consulting.
No, just go on.
Yeah, okay. So, so if you look at these particular charges that the governor has done and the multiplicity of them, there are 62. You don't know where to begin if you are to summon or when the lawlessness will end. When the governor starts doing roadside appointments, and you have seen she has done like, she did 3 of those roadside appointments. We don't know when next she will stop doing it. The vilification campaign, when will it stop? Because in one of those videos, she had started appointing, she had done the appointments in like 4 wards, appointing the people who came runners-up number 2. Assuming the president goes to your county and appoints the person who came number 2 to you as a senator, and they saying, this senator does not like me in the Senate, I will empower this one so that I can keep him busy in his ward. So there are so many things that she was doing that are leading to a multiplicity of charges that is leading to gross abuse of office. And when the governor has done the gross abuse of office, the cure that the Constitution has created is removal from office. It is laughable that within a duration of 100 days, just 100 days, someone has done offenses of this magnitude that we have seen in those videos. What if you gave her 2 years?
Thank you.
We can come with a big volume here.
Thank you, thank you. Number 2 is on count number 4, on violation of PFMA or attempt by the governor to violate PFMA on waiver to patients. That was a roadside declaration. And then her edict that the revenue at Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital.
It's Meru.
Or Meru Teaching and Referral Hospital. We have the funds collected, spent at source. Was the infraction complete? Was that money spent at source? Was the waiver to the patients effected at the MTRH?
Now, when the county executive gave the orders to the CEO to waive and release patients who are at the hospital because of bails, that the first instance she's not supposed to give such orders. Even though the CEC was not in office at the time, they could have waited for CEC to come so that they do it. Just because the office holder who is supposed to gazette an appointment, for example, appointment to boards in the national government, the president directs the cabinet minister to be the one named as to have appointed those names, because he's the one held responsible for appointing them to board. So in this case, the directives themselves are very wrong, that you retain the money at all.
Affected?
They should have been affected by now.
No, do you have evidence that they were affected? No or yes?
I don't have any evidence that they were affected.
Thank you.
But I expect they were.
Lastly, Chair, there seems to be differences in the county government, both arms, the executive and the assembly. Have you had an attempt to solve these differences through TDR or ADR, that is a traditional dispute resolution mechanisms, or alternate dispute resolution mechanisms up to now, and which are they?
Yeah, there have been various attempts, but I wouldn't want to treat this motion as a dispute between the governor, because we have placed charges against her on various grounds like abuse of office, gross misconduct, and breaking the Constitution and national and county laws. So I don't know how you now be able to mediate so that somebody stops something that they're not supposed to do. That is one. Assuming that there were those disputes now, there are forums that were called.
There are several ways.
Yes.
Through forums now that we are about to mention. You
Yes.
can go through the church.
Yes.
You can go through elders. Have there been any attempt, for my records?
So there have been attempts to hear out what is going on in Meru by the Council of Governors. They convened a meeting at Windsor sometime in October. The House leadership attended and the governor. There were attempts. Then the governor herself, first of all, the assembly was the one seeking to have a sitting with her. I did a call myself. The speaker was doing calls. They went unanswered. The governor now started calling us when we started the process of impeachment. Oh, come, we sit down. Before, she was ignoring all of them and going to radio. She was on radio saying, these people want to keep me busy in hotels, drinking tea and mandazi. They don't want me to be at Mashinani working for the people, discussing irrelevant matters about their Catholicism. She was resistant against it. At one point, I called her myself and told...
You've made your point.
Yes.
You've made your point. Maruma, very good. Senator Tangwa.
Thank you very much, Chair. And unlike my colleague here, Sifuna, who is a wakili, Mheshimiwa, myself, I may not argue on the basis of the law, but I will ask you questions from the experience, owing to the fact I could have gone through the same process that you are going through now. So you have to convince this committee. For us, we have no emotions. It is facts and facts only. I would have wanted to ask you what a motion is, but you are second-time MCA. So I can ask you, other than this motion, have you brought to the Meru County Assembly any other motion of whatever nature since you are elected?
Yes, I've brought many motions to the County Assembly.
You can mention two or
Yes.
one.
I've brought a motion seeking to revise, actually it went through to revise the finance laws that were guiding the county, that is in the previous County Assembly. I have brought a motion to the County Assembly seeking to lower the money that youth were being charged to have their businesses trained with the county. That is, young people are supposed to pay money so that their companies can be allowed to get tenders from the county.
Okay.
That is in the previous County Assembly, not this one.
I was talking about this one.
Oh, this one, this was my first motion.
So your first motion is to remove somebody from office. Is the motion passed at the Assembly or in the public?
The motion is passed in the Assembly.
In the Assembly?
Yes.
From the document I've seen,
Yes.
I've seen members of the public supporting your motion in the purported public participation. So would you say the members are supporting the motion, or they were supposed to bring the memoranda of any kind in support of the removal of the governor, other than supporting whatever you have already drafted?
The members of the public are not bound to anything. That's why it's called public participation. Someone will wake up to their house, from their house, and come and say what they feel. You are not supposed to dictate to them what they should say. There is no textbook or any law that prescribes what the members of the public come to do or come to say, how they should say it. You give them the forum. They can even talk about matters that are not being discussed there, and give their memoranda and go.
But from the documents that you have, most letters are saying we are supporting the motion by Honorable DMK. So you are executing your motion to the public.
The advert
or
that
wrong?
went to the newspapers is there is a motion in the Assembly that you're supposed to react to. So it's not wrong for a member of the public to say, I am supporting that motion that is under this public participation because of 1, 2, 3 reasons. Maybe the reasons that I have given that they think this is not what government should be doing, or reasons that they themselves feel are not even part of this motion but are impeachable. So you cannot dictate to the members of the public what to say and what to write.
Chairman, I think it's good for this committee to note that that is tantamount to having a local referendum. This document that have been presented to us, which is true, is given by the County Government Act, Section 90, but need to be carried out by IEBC. Another question is, it was said here that the 67 MCAs cannot be wrong, right?
Yes?
They cannot be wrong. But you also know that mob justice is illegal?
I don't think MCAs are a mob. They are elected representatives of people.
To avoid being accused of calling them mob, that's why I'm asking for this kind of evidence. We have agreed here that other than the video evidence that you give here to this committee, video evidence, there is no other document purporting the hiring of those roadside declarations, the pay slips, letter of appointments. So we agree your evidence is only based on video evidence.
No, my evidence is there to support the post that the governor wrote doing some of the appointments via Facebook. Then there are the videos. There is the signed affidavit about the sourcing of the evidence that I brought to this very house. Then when, yes, there is also evidence from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission that is supposed to enforce Chapter 6 of the Constitution. I don't think our CEO of the EACC that has been mandated by the Constitution to look at breaches of Chapter 6 can sit down and write something on EAC. So we also relied on that letter as evidence.
The letter that was talking about allegations. I'm a Catholic. Are you a Catholic?
Yes, I am.
And you know, we do have liturgical colors.
Yes, we do.
It is mentioned here that the issue of red, and I wish this issue was not here because I wouldn't want to discuss my church. But you know, red is a symbol of passion. It is only worn in church when we are celebrating martyrs. Those people who have been prosecuted without committing crime.
Yes.
So could we say that you misinterpreted the colors to mean
No.
something different?
The church was being prosecuted by the governor for committing no wrongs.
Okay. Finally, Mr. Chairman, we need to bring in the role of a speaker. Do you know the role of a speaker?
Yes.
From the assembly.
Yes.
He's supposed to be impartial.
Yes.
It has been mentioned here that he himself has been saying, or is quoted in media, saying that the governor must go.
Has that evidence been adduced here?
It was mentioned here on the meeting of 18th.
I can regard that as hearsay because I never saw any evidence of the speaker saying those words.
Okay. Do you know that a government entity with the right legal framework can collect money and spend at source? For example, the water companies. So do you know with that they can spend money at the source, even hospitals?
Hospitals?
Yeah.
But what does the Constitution say
I'm
about
saying with the right framework.
with the right legal framework here?
Yes. Do you know
Yes.
that can happen?
Yes, yes.
So has the County Assembly of Meru tried to pass such a law?
No.
They haven't.
Yeah.
That's all, Chairman.
Thank you, Senator for Kiambu. We now listen to the Senator of Machakos.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to follow up with what Senator of Kiambu has just asked about the red attire in the church. If I say that the governor was responding or responding to the video that I've seen here, saying that they are wearing the red attire and they are going to pray bad prayers for her, will I be right?
You'll be right.
I'll be right.
Yes.
She was responding to what they were saying. Two, if I may ask you, because you said demons are only cast in churches and in crusades, your own words. Where is it maybe written in the Bible or anywhere we can refer to that one can only cast demons in church or in crusades?
In this motion, there is nowhere we have mentioned governor was casting out demons.
No, somebody asked that question and then you answered.
It's the practice that I've always seen from evangelicals. I'm not one.
It's only what you have seen people do.
Yes.
There is nowhere written that you cannot cast out demons in any forum.
What are demons?
Well, you mentioned it yourself.
Order,
So
again.
I'm only
Senator.
I'm only questioning you about what you said in this forum.
Okay.
So you should tell me what are demons. Because you said it, and you said they can only be casted out in church or in crusades.
I said that there is a setting for church services that includes praying for those who are demon possessed. According to what I've seen in practice. And that was not the case in the motion. There was no demons that were being cast, or someone being told, come here, we cast out your demons. I've not seen that anywhere.
That's what you said, and I just wanted you to clarify
Yes.
or substantiate.
Yes.
If it is true, those demons can only be cast out in church or in crusades or anywhere else. Whether they can only be cast out in church or on crusades.
In my understanding, yes.
in your understanding.
Yes.
I can say that you are wrong because a prayer can be made anywhere, even here in this forum. A prayer can be made. Okay? Then
There's a difference between prayer and casting out demons.
this video, yeah, a prayer, you can pray and you can cast out demons as you pray. You can. It is possible.
Okay, Honorable Senator, I'm lost.
Yeah, because what you don't know, don't indulge into it because it will cause you problems. So one, the governor was responding in that clip to the sayings of that they are wearing red and the prayers that they can pray against her can harm her. So according to me and according to the video, she was responding to those, but those were not her words. She was only responding. Two, the 10 million for Ward Development Fund that you talked about, was it executed and given to the MCAs, and did they implement any projects in their wards, the 45 wards, before coming to demand for more? Are those 10 millions over already?
Thank you, Senator. At no point did I talk about Ward Fund. The entire period that I've been here, I never mentioned it anywhere. It's not in my affidavit. Ward Fund does not exist. And it's counsel for the governor who mentioned it during the day I was following on TV and saying that the governor has disbursed 10 million to MCAs and there is nothing like that I've done. And if the governor does that, it's illegal.
Well, there's somewhere we read about that, and it was, I think your counsel was guiding and asking question about the 10 million and the Ward Development Fund, and that the MCRs differed with the governor.
It's the governor's council who was saying, who had indicated that the governor has released money to these people, 10 million per ward, and the dispute is they are coming for more so that it gets to 20 or 25. Those were his exact words because I was following, and there is nothing like that anywhere. Okay. And Ward Fund is not a contest before this house.
Okay, all right then. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Roba.
Thank you very much, Chair. In the process of questioning, there is one issue that was mentioned, and for the record, it was inappropriately captured. The issue of whether the governor has a leeway to decide whether he can operate with 5 CEC, 6, 7, or 10. Article 179(3) it states that the structure or the number is 1/3 of the MCAs, total number of MCAs up to a maximum of 10. And as such, there is no leeway. It's not discretionary. That is just for the record. Now, my question. And I will go straight. Allegation E, misconduct relating to nomination of county executive committee members. And of particular interest to me is this is, impeachment of Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the governor of, Meru County. And as such, every allegation that has been leveled, the committee and this house must be able to make sure that every information in it is gotten with clarity. And as it relates to E of that misconduct, reorganizing her government to 6 departments and 3 CEC members after the rejection of some nominees instead of submitting names of other candidates to the county assembly for approval. Now, before I go to the question, for purpose of just clarity, because I just want yes or no at the end. Article 179(1) and 2 says the executive authority of the county is vested in and exercised by the county executive committee. The county executive committee consists of the county governor and the deputy governor. That is in as far as Article 179(2). Then the County Government Act, Section 30, which Senator Sifuna talked about, and is of particular interest to me, 30E, which is 30 deals with the functions and responsibilities of a county governor. E of 30 says constitute the county executive committee portfolio structure to respond to the functions and competencies assigned to and transferred to each county. Then when we go further to, when read together with Section 46 of the County Government Act, A, B, and C, that is 1A, B, and C, which states, for the record, the County Executive Committee shall determine the organization of the county and its various departments, and for that purpose may establish, continue, or vary any department, and determine the object and purpose of the department. Determine the number and nature of departments or at that decentralized unit. Abolish any department, or determine or change the name of any department. Now, number 2 of the same E says the executive committee shall take into account and be guided as needed to organize its department and other structures in a flexible way in order to respond to the changing priorities and circumstances. Now, I will come to the question. That has been listed as an allegation. Is it the governor exercising constitutional mandate and legal mandate as given, looking at the circumstance that she has a county government to run and the executives have been rejected and she has 3? So, legally speaking, what do you find wrong in the actions of the governor in assigning more departments with the number of the CECs that has been approved or she's left with, if this is the provision of the law? Over to you, and that's my only question.
Yes. The governor is within a mandate, according to the Constitution and the County Governments Act, to reorganize the departments to be suitable to what she feels, what she wants, and how she wants to execute our government, which she did. She did exactly that, came up with 10 departments and appointed 10 CECs and brought them to the assembly. Now, there is a County Government Approval Act that directs what happens in the approval process of appointees of the governor. Then the governor, she should have reorganized them to 6 and appointed 6 CECs.
Just because I've read and belabored in going through all these sections of the law for purposes of, and I've taken this because you're second-term MCA, you know, you've been there before. The question becomes, the County Assembly has rejected 7, approved 3. Okay?
Yes.
How do you propose for the governor to run the functions of the county government for which he is legally mandated under the circumstance and, you know, in accordance with priorities and circumstances, which gives her, the law gives her the legal mandate? What do you find wrong? Because you've cited that as an allegation against the governor for, you know, just executing her mandate within the law.
Honorable Senator, through the chair, would I be allowed to, I would like to seek your permission, Mr. Chairman, to see whether I can ask a question to the Senator regarding the same.
Very well. You will not do that.
He will answer, then ask if he wishes.
Okay.
No, the
chairman has directed. Yes.
The chair has refused.
Thank
We
you.
shall not change the process.
Thank you.
Otherwise, a high court, one of you might go to court if
Yes.
you will not be satisfied
Yes.
with what we have done today.
Yes.
And if the process is found faulty,
Yes.
that'll be it. We will have wasted time.
Yes.
So you will not ask a question at this stage.
Yes, so my issue would have been with the County Government Approval Act that provides for what happens when the names are rejected. Is it a law that should have been followed? Yes, I would answer that the law should be followed when she is supposed to reorganize the government. That is simply by looking at the reasons for rejection and not going to a rally, verifying the rejection and saying those MCAs, like she has done in those videos, acted in bad faith. These were good people. She should have looked at the reasons for rejection, just like Parliament rejects some names. I don't expect the President to go verify in Parliament.
Mheshimiwa, I'm avoiding a statement of premeditated commitment of the execution of the governor before, because the processes of the law does not assume there will be vacuum anywhere. Okay? The circumstances within which the governor operated,
Yes.
under the circumstance.
Yes.
Because the only thing
The circumstances.
by what you are trying to justify is your expectation as an assembly, because you've rejected 7, is that the governor should have been grounded completely.
No.
Whereas the law and the sections I've read allows the governor legally to execute that mandate within the law, as she sorts out the other issues that you're mentioning of going back, identifying other CECs, resubmitting, or resubmitting with reasons if the assembly has given her reasons for rejecting, which is able to be addressed by the governor.
The county government, the County Assembly's Approval Act has told the governor what to do so that there is no vacancy, like you are alluding, Honorable Senator, that she should seek fresh names or even bring those names if the circumstances have changed.
Okay,
So,
Chair.
unless you say
think-
that this law is invalid.
Mheshimiwa, Asante, I'm finished, Honorable Senator.
Thank you, witness. Take no offense. This will help you going forward.
Thank you.
Senator Folam.
Thank you, Chair. My questions will be very brief. I just want to know, in your own opinion, if someone appoints a spouse in a volunteer position, would that be nepotism?
Depends on the nature of the volunteerism. It depends on what they are appointing them to do.
Okay. Question number 2.
Can be nepotism if they were appointing them in a nepotistic way.
Sorry, I've not understood.
I'm saying, you have asked me whether it can be regarded as nepotism. I'm saying it depends on the nature of appointment. So if it was nepotistic, whereby the spouse is given, where there is a competition somewhere and the spouse has entered the competition, where the governor has powers to decide who gets what and gives the spouse, that could be nepotism. So I'm addressing myself to the circumstances of this appointment, whereby the governor expressly appoints the spouse to an inexistent office.
Question number 2. Is there any position that Her Excellency the Governor created in total disregard of the Public Service Board?
Is there what?
Is there any position that Her Excellency the Governor created and drew public funds in total disregard of Public Service Board?
The governor created the positions that she appointed the person of the husband to, but I'm not aware of any funds. Like she said herself, the position is not supposed to be remunerated, but it's not about remuneration like I've indicated before.
Question number 3. Why do you think that it was very important or it was necessary for the governor to forward the name of the husband for approval, or rather for the vetting and subsequent approval to a position that she seemed to suggest that it was a volunteer position?
If you look at the positions that were created by the County Government Act, the positions of the board to the Male Youth Service, all those appointees are supposed to be submitted to the Assembly for vetting and approval. Now that she has created an office and appointed somebody, she needs to follow the procedure and bring this person. Then that way we could also be able to look at the law where it is instead of filling the office directly. Most of the offices of boards, like this one is a patron of a board, are supposed to be brought to the assembly for vetting.
Thank you, Kamau. Senator Wakenyori.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Kiogora, in the spirit of comradeship, because I know you are a student leader like me, allow me to ask you a few questions to guide this committee in providing sound and good decisions to the people of Meru. One, what's your opinion in the duty, if any, of a first gentleman? And is he expected to shy away from any duties at all? Maybe and if you reason with me, maybe the governor was just complimenting her husband. You know, you can call your spouse darling, honey. Maybe she was calling him in the patron of Meru youth to allude to his youthfulness, or the ambassador of hustlers at least to show his hustler credentials. So would you therefore say that the governor's spouse is bound by Article 10 of the Constitution regarding national values and principles of a public officer? Yes, Honorable Kiogora. That's my first question.
Yeah, I would not support your thinking, Honorable Senator, that this might have been done because of love. You can easily kill someone because you have found them with someone that you love. And you say, I did it because of love. Does that mean that the judge is going to forgive you because you did it out of love? You're going to be jailed for manslaughter if you did it out of passion. Now, if the governor was breaking laws out of excitement, out of love for the husband to give him various portfolios in the government without following the due process, then that is very unfortunate. And I don't think the other 46 governors of this country are unromantic so as to appoint their spouses to county offices by creating offices for them. In fact, we have 6 other female governors. Do you want to tell me they don't love their husbands?
My second question, can you confidentially, in confidentiality or confidently confirm that any of the roadside appointees are currently holding appointment letters?
I cannot confirm that.
My third question and last one, can you tell this committee that the motion of impeachment is not fueled by personal vendetta because the members had hardly known each other? Yeah.
Yes, the motion cannot be fueled, could not have been fueled by personal vendetta, either from the mover myself or from the members. Because on August 9, 2022, only 9 members out of 45 were re-elected. So there is no way these other people who have come in as new could have been having any vendetta with the new governor because they are new. Out of 23 female MCAs in the county assembly, all of whom approved this impeachment motion, only 5 were renominated. All the other female MCAs are new. So it cannot be a personal vendetta from them. It can also not be a personal vendetta against me because I have to adduce evidence to whatever I'm bringing to the county assembly, and there are safeguards, constitutional safeguards against personal vendetta and politically motivated impeachment, whereby the Senate itself is sitting here as a neutral arbiter today to hold a trial for the governor. So there is no way I could have brought myself here without knowing that laws have been broken, the office of the governor has been abused. So it can't be personal vendetta that the governor committed all this wrong. And don't think there is anything personal in this motion. And there are safeguards to that.
Point of order, Chair. The witness has severally referred to the female MCAs. And I do not understand particularly why he would want to box the governor to the female corner. I mean, is there something very particular about the female MCAs?
No, there's nothing. I was giving data of the nominated MCAs who came back, either by election or by nomination, to say that these people could not have ganged up to have a personal problem with the governor, because only 5 were nominated, and then the most, other than one woman who was elected, 44 out of 45 are men.
It's not the first time this...
The question was about vendetta from the MCA, so I was trying to demonstrate that, Honorable Senator.
Chair, I would want him not to pursue the gender card, because we have deliberately avoided the gender issue. Otherwise, we would then say she's being persecuted because she's female.
It is so directed.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman.
Thank you, witness. You've done very well. We are about to go through. Senator for Migori.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, DMK, for the time and the insights provided to this committee. I want to quickly address myself to about 3 issues. The first one is the allegation number 4, which is mostly on the PFM Act and the violations thereof, therefore, which are predominantly based on Meru Teaching and Referral Hospital. The PFM Act is anchored mostly in the Constitution under Article 207, and I'm going to only read one for you because it's a very serious allegation. The Article 207, Subarticle 1, says there shall be established a revenue fund for each county government, into which shall be paid all money raised or received by or on behalf of the county government, except, and I want to underline that word, except money reasonably excluded by an act of parliament. Article 1, Section 109 of the PFM Act, and I'm only going to focus on subsection 2B. Subsection 2 says, the county treasury for each county government shall ensure that all money raised or received by or on behalf of the county government is paid into the county revenue fund, except money, and that's where I'm going to B, that may, in accordance with other legislation, this act or county legislation be retained by the county government entity which received it for the purposes of defraying its expenses. Honorable DMK, my question is, can you confirm absolutely for the record that there is no county legislation that allows for retention of funds by the Meru Teaching and Referral Hospital?
There is none.
There's none. Can you also confirm or share with this committee if there is any bill or any proposed laws under the County Assembly of Meru on this matter?
There's none.
There's none. Thank you so much. My second question will be on public participation, and it's a question with options. Who carried out public participation, in your view, in the Assembly with regard to the motion that is here? Option A, members of the County Assembly of Meru. Option B, a committee of the County Assembly of Meru. Option C, a single member of the County Assembly of Meru. And option D, a staff of the County Assembly of Meru.
I don't think any of your suggested answers applies here, because the public participation was carried out by the County Assembly here. So it cannot be a staff, because
it was carried by
the County Assembly of Meru.
By the County Assembly of Meru.
Yes, because it's the one, it's the clerk who had advertised. Actually, the
all.
public participation, and then it's the staff who are there in numbers, because one staff could not have done it.
No, you have answered.
Yes.
You've answered, don't worry.
Yes.
I get you, my friend.
Yes.
Do you find it concerning in your own way for you having signed the public participation document?
I don't find it concerning.
Okay. Last question.
From a debate whether where the governor said she will go to that assembly whether they want it or not. So
Thank you.
that Kamukunji was called urgently so that the members can decipher what the governor had said in the radio.
Thank you. And since the meeting, or rather since the press conference after the meeting, up to date, have you interacted with the press conference?
Myself?
Statement?
Yes, I have.
Was the content of the press conference similar to your expectation of the agenda before you attended the meeting, in your understanding now?
No.
Okay, thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you. Before we migrate to the next point, I'll allow Senator Thangwa, who has something, just to wrap up.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair, for this opportunity. It is on a question that I asked, and the same question has been asked by Senator Fomigori, Senator Eddy, on the issue of whether there is a legal framework that allows the Meru County Referral Hospital to spend money at source. Mr. Speaker, there is an act, and it is called Meru County Teaching and Referral Hospital Board. A board is established, and if I can read to you section 14 of that act, it says, after a board is established, the board will have funds, and the funds of the board shall comprise such monies as may be appropriated by the county assembly. So the county assembly put the money into that fund. Such sums as may be realized from the board's business. So that is the amount that they charge at the hospital. Monies earned or arising from any investment of the funds. Such grants or transfers as may be received from the national government. Grants and donations received from any other lawful source. Such monies received as user charges, fees payable, or insurance. And Mr. Chair, the board has a director, and they have a CEO who at least 3 months before the commencement of each year, financial year, the board shall cause to be prepared estimates of the revenue and the expenditure of the hospital for that year. So maybe we go back to the witness, Honorable DMK. Are you aware of that act?
I'm aware now of the act, but it does still not permit for monies obtained to be retained and spent at source. Actually, I've been listening to what you have reading, Honorable Senator, whereby they have to prepare a budget, the money has to be appropriated by the assembly, and sources are from business that they can do as a hospital, and you cannot say that the money that is charged from patients is part of the business of the board. The board is a board corporate that is allowed to do its own business.
Let me read for you section 14.3. The board shall open, and remember you said there was no such act, right? You were not aware.
I'm not aware. Yeah.
You were not aware. Yeah. I'm informing you about the Meru affairs. The board shall open and operate bank accounts into which monies received shall be paid solely for the purpose of managing and administering the funds received. So that means what the governor was saying, that when they're managing the affairs of the county, of the hospital, the law itself permits that.
Remember what the governor was telling them to use the funds that they remit to the revenue fund. The fact that she was telling them to retain.
Order.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
We will not proceed with the altercations. You started by saying that you are not aware, and now the law has been brought to your attention. You've put your case. The senators will use what you said and weigh it against the provisions of the act by the County Assembly of Meru.
Point of information, Chair,
Yes.
with your permission.
1 minute, please. Yes, I think, point of information?
Yes, Honorable
You
Chair.
want to inform who?
I want to inform the House that
Okay.
indeed we have annexed.
You want to bring it to the attention of the House?
Yes, on the question on the floor.
The House is very informed.
Thank you,
Yes,
Chair.
yes.
We want to confirm to the House that we have annexed that particular act that the Honorable Senator is talking about. It is appearing at page 161 of volume 2 of our bundle of documents. That act is in existence. It has been supplied to the House and to the County Assembly. Thank you.
County Assembly Attorney?
Chair, we also wish to inform you by section 14(4) of that same act as annexed. It says the revenues of that board of the Meru Level 5 Hospital shall be spent in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act.
Very well. So, I want now to request with thanks and congratulations, our witness to step down from the witness stand.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Yeah. It's been a very long afternoon, but that's how justice goes. Next witness.
Our next witness is Lucy Mukaria. She will be examined in chief by my learned friend, Mr. Eric Muriuki.
You sacrificed her time for the sake of the star witness.
We
So
are headed,
how much time would you like us to give you?
Mr. Muriuki tells me he should take no more than 20 to 30 minutes with this witness.
The way we agreed. It will be 12 minutes because there is 40 minutes to share. So that is 12. See how best you can do it, Council.
Yes, Honorable Chair of the Special
Just hold. Let the witness take oath.
Would you like to affirm or take an oath?
I can take an oath.
Take an oath.
Yeah. I, Lucy Makena Mukaria, do solemnly swear that the evidence that I shall give before this committee in respect of the matters before this committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. Slight improvement. 13 minutes, not 12. 13.
Yes, Honorable Chair of this special committee, Senator Dr. Boni Khalwale, honorable members of the House, my name is Eric Muriuki. I am an advocate and I will be conducting the examination of our second witness. So, kindly introduce yourself to the committee.
Thank you very much, Council, Honorable Chair, Honorable Senators. My name is Lucy Makena Mukaria. I am a nominated member of the Meru County Assembly, where I am nominated and I'm serving my second term as a nominated member. Honorable Chair.
Nominated by what party?
I am nominated by DEP party, popularly known as BAS. Honorable Chair.
Yes, through the chair, how long have you served as a member of the County Assembly of Meru?
Honorable Chair, I have served, I'm serving my second term as a first loaded two. I first came to the County Assembly in the elections of the year 2017. But before then, I had served as a councillor, a nominated councillor in the de facto county councils, where I served in the Meru Municipal Council. Honorable Chair.
Are you familiar with the impeachment motion that is now before this House?
Yes, I am familiar with the impeachment motion because I voted to impeach and I have been following the proceedings thereafter.
So tell this Honorable House about any encounters that you have had with the governor, and perhaps speak to our relationship with other leaders.
Honorable Chair, as I said earlier, I served in the Second Assembly as a nominated member, and that is the first time I had an encounter with the governor when she served as the women rep representing Meru, the county MP for Meru. And at that particular time, I was serving as the chair of the Women Caucus in the Assembly. So that is the first time I very, very briefly interacted with her when I approached her to be the patron of the Women Caucus in the Assembly, which she did not take up. And from that time, I have just known her to be the women rep of Meru County, and also now as the governor of the Meru County Assembly.
So, are you aware of any pronouncements made by the governor regarding nominated female MCAs?
Honorable Chair, I remember maybe mostly during the campaigns and shortly before the campaigns of 2022, when actually she used to refer to the nominated member as having been elected through the blankets, whatever that meant, but the connotation was that we did not get the nominations because of merit. We had other favors. And Honorable Chair, this was repeated again on the 19th of October when she forcibly came into the Assembly, where I witnessed her also again refer to some of the women MCAs and told them to go look for votes, not to always expect to be given seats through, again, the blankets. That is literally to say what she said, but this was not in good connotation, Honorable Chair, and that was actually demeaning the position of the nominated member of County Assemblies. Honorable Chair.
Okay, now that you've mentioned the 19th of October, let us go to that date. What happened on that day?
Council, on the 19th of October 2022, we were all the MCAs were in the county, in the premises of the Assembly, and we were busy electing chairs of the committees in the chambers. And I remember while we were still there, and actually we were waiting for the governor's address that afternoon, but before then, and while we were still at the chambers electing members in different positions, I heard a rowdy crowd coming into the Assembly, and we all rushed out to see what was happening. And only to see that the governor, followed by a crowd of around 40 to 50 people, coming into the presence of the Assembly. And actually, even before I could go out completely, I was caught up at the reception. And the governor was there actually coming forcibly, wanting to get into the chambers. And she had all these people around her. And actually, there was quite a lot of commotion caused at that particular time, Honorable Chair.
While you were there, what did you hear the governor say?
She actually came and got past me into the chambers, but then just in time the sergeant at arms closed the doors, and so she had to come back from the chambers, because the arrangement of the chamber is that it is quite behind the main entrance. And from there, when she came back, she found all of us, now everybody was alarmed, and we had all gone out, and most of us were crowding the reception there, and she started actually like exchanging and shouting to the MCAs and asking. I remember I personally asking her, Your Excellency, you don't have to do that. You just need to walk to the speaker's office, and the speaker will gown up and bring you to the chamber, because anyway, we are expecting you. But then she started shouting now to the other ladies, asking them, well, you should go out there and look for votes. You don't always expect to be given seats under the blankets, like Honorable Chair said earlier. And before I realized, she had started walking up the ladder, up the staircase to the speaker's office. And before long, I could hear commotions at the speaker's office. And I heard actually the secretary begin to make noise because I think she was alarmed. Or so later I learned that she was alarmed. And the speaker came out. Because the speaker had already gone out, he went up to the chambers, and the speaker gowned up, and the sergeant at arms escorted the governor to the chambers. Shortly before that, the sitting bell had already rang, and we had all gone into the chambers. Honorable Chair.
Yes, we are constrained for time. We only have 5 more minutes to go.
Yeah.
So, what was supposed to happen in the assembly that day, very briefly?
What was supposed to happen, the governor was supposed to give a county address, the opening address.
Did that address happen?
She was escorted to the chambers, and all the preliminaries were done. And when she took to the podium, the MCAs got out of the chambers.
And briefly, what was the governor's reaction to that MCAs walking out?
I may not know the reaction, but I think there was no quorum to address the assembly, and so she was escorted out, where she went to the speaker's office, and shortly after that she came out, got into her car, got up the sunroof of her car, and she went to the gate where she was applauded. She was being applauded by a round crowd at the entrance of the county assembly. Honorable Chair.
Now, being a female member of the county assembly of Meru yourself, you must be aware of how many female MCAs are in the county assembly.
Yes, the number of the women MCAs are 23, both elected by universal suffrage and those that are nominated by political parties.
The governor, in her affidavit by way of response to this impeachment motion, in paragraphs 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, alleges that her impeachment is an issue of gender, or rather she's being targeted because she is a woman. What do you say to that?
Honorable Chair, we cannot, we cannot say that the governor is being embattled because she's a woman. No, otherwise all the 23 women MCAs would not have impeached her. And we cannot reduce the unrest in Meru right now to just the issues of gender. There are serious governance issues that are being raised, and since morning, Honorable Speaker, we've been demonstrating that. And really this has nothing to do with the fact that the governor is a female. Honorable
Thank you.
Chair, there are very serious
The time is
issues.
up. 2 more minutes.
Yes, thank you, Chair.
Honorable Chair, we cannot reduce that discussion, that conversation that is really keeping the Meru people awake and that has kept this House, the honorable senators in this chamber since morning, to just the issues of gender. No, the Meru County Assembly is raising very serious issues of governance, and what we feel is like, personally, I feel like the governor has lacked in the area of using her soft skills to manage the county government. And by soft skills, I mean, Honorable Chair, the lack of proper communication. We have been seeing...
So let me stop you there because you are constrained for time.
Yes.
Which of the 62 specific violations leveled against the governor have been leveled against her for the reason that she is a woman, to the best of your knowledge?
None at all. None at all. We have not been complaining about the governor being a woman, no.
And my last question to you, what latitude does being a woman afford the governor to breach national and county laws or provisions of the Constitution of Kenya?
Honorable Chair, the Constitution of Kenya really doesn't care whether you are a woman or a man when it comes to, you know, doing your functions as the governor at any level, or even as a public officer at any level. The Constitution does not really care whether you are a woman, whether you are a man. You are entrusted by the people of Kenya through the Constitution and other laws to be able to act according to the laws set, regardless of whether you are female or male, Honorable Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I think that concludes my exam in chief for this witness. Asante sana.
Very good. Yes. Somebody's question?
I didn't want to interfere because of time, and but I just want to caution the council from both sides. When you bring witnesses, they are here to help us with evidence. You've been cautioned time without number on the issue of asking witnesses to give us opinions. You will be disadvantaged. I just wanted to reiterate that, Chair.
Thank you. The Council for Governors, cross-examine, 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chair, for the opportunity. Honorable Lucy Mukaria, good evening.
Very good evening, Council.
You have told this honorable committee that the governor has accused female MCAs of being nominated through the blankets.
Yes.
You have.
Council, yes.
That was not an allegation that was brought in the impeachment motion, was it?
No, I was just giving, laying a background of why I personally did not go along with her.
Okay. So you voted to impeach the governor because of an allegation that was not contained in the impeachment motion?
No.
But you did not get along with her because of those sentiments?
No, I said, Council, that I did not get along with her because of all the allegations that we have been showcasing throughout the day, Honorable Chair.
You have talked of the events of 19th of October 2022.
Yes.
Confirmed to this committee that indeed that was a gazetted day when the governor was supposed to appear and give a maiden speech to the county assembly.
Yes, it is.
Were you expecting the governor to show up?
Yes, we were expecting him in the afternoon at the 2:30 sitting of the 19th of October.
At what time did the governor enter the county assembly?
Way before 1 p.m., sorry, I repeat, way before 1 p.m., all around 1 p.m. We had not prepared to sit for the 2:30 p.m. sitting.
Let us look at paragraph 9 in your witness statement. You have accused the governor of accosting one Honorable Frida Naito.
Counsel, through the chair, perhaps you could share with us the page of the document you're referring to so that we can all follow.
Thank you, Honorable Senator for Nairobi. I'm referring to page 9 of volume 5 of the County Assembly's documents. I'm looking at page 5. It is the witness statements contained at volume 5 of the County Assembly's documents. Our statement appears from page 8 all the way to page 13. So I'm referring to paragraph 9 of her statement, which specifically appears at page 10. So on that page, paragraph, you accuse the governor of accosting one Frida Naito, a nominated MCA.
Yes,
correct?
Counsel.
Again, there has been no allegation in the impeachment motion of the governor accosting any member of County Assembly, specifically Frida Naito.
Yeah, I was narrating the
It's a yes or no question. It's a yes or no question. There is no specific allegation in the impeachment motion where the governor is being accused of accosting any member of the County Assembly.
Yes.
There is none. And the said Frida Naito has not in any way filed an affidavit or a witness statement to that effect that she was ever accosted by the governor.
No, this was my witness statement, so it is me who saw that.
It is you who saw that.
Yes.
But the person who was accosted has not taken time to accuse the governor of that.
Yes. She's not a witness in this case.
You also confirm that you were not one of the witnesses presented before the County Assembly to support the impeachment motion.
There was no requirement for witness at the Assembly.
You did
and
not.
The answer is no.
The answer is no, thank you. Look at paragraph 10 of your witness statement again. You accuse the governor of scaring off the secretary. You've actually told this committee that you sensed that there was some cause for alarm at the Speaker's office.
Yes.
Again, the impeachment motion did not contain any allegations of the governor ever threatening anyone at the County Assembly, specifically the secretary of the Speaker.
Again, Counsel, this is my witness that I have sworn under oath. So these are the occurrences that I saw, and so the answer is no.
Has the secretary filed any notice, any affidavit or witness
Not that I am aware of, Counsel.
Not that you're aware of. You've also claimed that your car...
Order. Order. You've made your point. You've made your point. Take your seat. Counsel for the County Assembly. Procedure rule number 20. Why have you brought here Mrs. McKenna to speak to a matter that is not in any of the charges? Please, if you have a similar witness coming, save us the time. We don't want to appear like we are blocking you, but you can see clearly the things she's speaking to are not before this House.
We are guided, Chair, but if you read the impeachment motion, you note that it says the specific matters listed are just illustrative examples of a long-going campaign of vilification and humiliation of other leaders. And if we had sought to prove all of them, we would have brought to you a litany of hundreds of incidents. Our thinking, which we may be right or wrong, was that having clustered the allegations, we only needed to illustrate to you by the examples stated in the motion, but the governor had noticed from the motion itself that the matter, the specific incidents given are expressly indicated as illustrative examples of a long-ranging campaign against other leaders. But I can confirm, Chair, the other witnesses won't even delve in that direction.
Yes, that is a good assurance. Poor us. How do we convince the governor that he's going through a fair process if your witness is giving an account of when the governor was a member of the National Assembly? What has it got to do with these proceedings? Please take your seat, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, Chair, maybe to help the council, because the process of removing a governor from office through impeachment, first they go through the motion. After the motion, the assembly forms a committee to investigate all the allegation, to investigate what was illustrative, as he mentioned. So that means that's when those people who have been mentioned should appear or could have appeared before the committee. So the question is, did they? Did Honorable Lucy, and for a moment I thought the Honorable Governor was giving evidence against herself, they somehow look alike. But what I wanted to mention is that did they appear before that committee? If they did not appear before that committee, Chair, then this is a goose chase.
Yeah, he did not. He has even said it from the witness stand. We were just being patient. We don't want to look unfair. So, Madam McKenna, thank you so much for making time to make the presentation you just did. You are now free to step down.
Chair.
The witness.
Chair.
Honorable Chair.
Just a minute. Just a minute, members. We will hear the council there. Then I'll come and rule.
Chair, please don't release her. There's something I want to.
Yes. Honorable Chair, I also want to make a similar submission, but the witness is testifying on the other ground of forcible entry into the assembly. It is not purely the issue of the vilification of nominated MCAs. And to respond to what
you're saying, the next witness.
No, this witness is also if you read a witness statement, it also speaks to the allegation of forcible entry into the assembly. So it is not true that the witness is only testifying about the issue of vilification of nominated MCAs.
Okay,
that is one.
Point is made.
I have a second issue that I want to raise, Honorable Chair. In response to what Senator Karungo Dango has said, you will note from Standing Order number 65 of the County Assembly of Meru Standing Orders, there is no committee that is formed to investigate or to consider the impeachment motion. So there was no committee before which all these witnesses could appear before to investigate the impeachment motion. That is not the procedure. The procedure is that once the motion is tabled, it undergoes public participation, and finally the House in plenary considers the impeachment motion. There is no committee at any stage whatsoever.
Thank you. So going forward, let me help you. When the County Assembly of Meru is sitting in plenary, it's a committee. It's called the Committee of the Whole. So that is the committee to which this witness would have appeared. To be fair to both of you, she did not appear before the Committee of the Whole. Yeah. Yes, Edwin?
Chair, with due respect, you know, she is a member of that committee that you're talking about. It would be tough for her to appear before herself. But the guidance I wanted to give the committee, we are already at an advanced stage with her. The cross-examination was just about to end.